Fantasy, sports, and politics.
Get ready to rumble!
You wanna talk smack? You in the right place. So take a step back before I get all up in your
Remember, because I don't remember. I remember every bit of this.
You're the dudes holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
Oh!
Derek's gonna get him.
Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics.
Listeners are asking questions about this week's games, not Jerry's personal beef. So what's your thought?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fantasy Sports and Politics. I already see I have somebody in my green room that's going to get lit up like a Christmas tree, or better yet, a piñata. Yeah, a piñata. I mean that in a fun way, but I'm going to get him. I'm going to send ice to his house. I'm joking. But anyway, welcome to Fantasy Sports and Politics. It's me, Mr. FSP. I do what I do because I do it for you all day, every day. On today's episode, we're going to talk about IDPs, the individual defensive players, in particular the defensive line position. As I prepare you for your fantasy your fantasy season. On Saturdays, I do defensive players. On Sundays, I do offensive players, leading up to the first game of the season. So we're going to have some fun. With that being said, since I have this individual here, he was brave enough to come on. I'm going to bring him in first, curse him out, and then I'm going to kick him off the show. But I love him, so I might keep him on. If the other party decides to come, I will not be liable for my actions. All right. So I'm going to tell y'all the situation before we get started, okay? All right. There is the fantasy league. It's called Neighborhood Street Football. As you guys know, I've been doing it for years. We do our live drafts here on the show. And the individual that's in the green room, he's like my brother from another mother from another country, right? But his trading partner used to be a friend of mine, used to be. We all know, if you saw the last couple episodes when this person was on the show, you saw why we are no longer, friends. He was disrespectful yet again on his show, then came on my show. And he got upset because I was disrespectful back to him. That's neither here nor there. The point is, this person that's in the green room decided to play with my emotions. He played with my emotions because he knows politics, sport. That's right, George. Politics and sports. I'm going to tell you, George, I will talk about President Trump and all the shenanigans that the guy you voted for has done, and you support him. Terrible, but I ain't gonna get to it. I don't want you to report my friend that's in the green room to ICE, so I might not bring you on, George. But anyway, person in the green room, he played with my emotions because he has somebody that I really want. I really want this person, and I was willing to do something that I wasn't going to do before to get this person. And because he knew that, he decided to go ahead and concoct, I just learned this, the conspiracy, conspiracy that these two concocted to get my blood pressure up. It's insane. It's so absurd that I had to talk about it before I even get to what the show topic's about. The politics in this is real. It's real. It's so political that in my fantasy football league, the trash talk cuts deep. It cuts so deep you might not want to be a part of it because of the stuff. Like I'm talking about reporting on the ice. That's something you don't joke about. But in our league, we joke about it because he knows I'm not going to do something like that. It's a place of love that I have for this man. But the conspiracy and collusion that they have concocted made me just turn into a person they don't want to see. I am now the god of war. Call me Kratos. Because I'm coming to hurt everybody. I'm gonna let him come on and go in detail about this ploy, this collusion, this conspiracy that he set me up for. And I didn't think, see, that's the thing. It's the people you don't think would do something to you. It's the people you don't think would do something. And now you're up here dancing about it. You're up here dancing about it. He think he's special. I'm about to send him to Alligator Island. Let's hear if he likes that. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to bring on this individual. Y'all know him better as Q. He my guy. He gives y'all the bad parlays. But hopefully he comes back this year and does some parlays. I appreciate him. I love him. Q, welcome back to the show.
The myth, the legend.
You something.
the
You are something.
racism, the racism is real, bro.
You know I ain't racist. Get out
I
of
need
here
to
with
check
that.
your ballots because I'm pretty sure you voted for 47.
I did not vote for 47, nor did I vote for 45. I voted for 46. Anyway, please explain to the people why you and that other person who will remain nameless decided to concoct a terrible plan against me, of all people. And tell them what it was.
First of all, it was not Jerry's idea. I'm taking all the credit for it.
He's
It was
making you
my
take the blame.
idea.
He's making you take the blame. I see
It was
that.
no, he didn't. It was my idea. My idea. Once you came up to me and you asked me about that certain individual, I knew how really bad you wanted him. And all this going back and forth with you and Jerry, I said, oh no, I got to do something about this. I got to do something about this. So I called Jerry and then I told her, hey, let's play this trick on this guy. And he didn't want to at first. He said, I'm not interested. I don't want nothing to do with that guy. But I asked him again and again and again. So he finally decided to go along with it. And once we did that, I told him to pretend that I was going to give him the guy you wanted.
You just say it. Just go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
No, I'm not going to say it.
Jaden Daniels, y'all. He was going to trade me. He was going to trade Jay. I had tried to get Jaden Daniels because we do keepers. I was trying to get Jaden Daniels because y'all know I'm a Commanders fan. And that is the player I've talked to this dude about since last season that I wanted to get. And
First of all,
made me an offer.
I want you to tell everybody how you were going to break all the rules just to get Jaden Daniels. All the rules that you had set up.
I was not going to break any rules.
Go against everything just so you can benefit from getting Jaden Daniels.
I was not. First of all, I was not breaking any rules. None whatsoever.
No, you were making them up as you went along. You sound very familiar.
What did I do? What did I say that was going to break the rules?
You didn't end up doing anything because I called you out on it.
What did I say specifically? Because I said nothing. No. I said nothing that would break the rules in order for me to get Jaden Daniels. I offered you. Well, let me back up. Last year, Q offered to send me Jaden Daniels for Jamar Gibbs. But by this time, again, this was maybe last couple weeks of the season. And I was like, no, I can't do that. Because he's one of my keepers. And Jaden Daniels is one of his keepers. And I value Jamar Gibbs that much. He's a top 10 fantasy talent, right? So is Jaden Daniels. But I was like, I love JD. but is he? This is my internal dialogue. Would Jaden Daniels have a sophomore slump like C.J. Stroud? The difference is, you know, Houston didn't add much to that offense to help C.J. Stroud. Washington added a lot to help Jaden Daniels, but now we're going through this whole thing with Terry McLaurin, which is stupid, absolutely stupid, because him and Debo, along with Ertz and Robinson and Eckler, dude, that's killer offense, plus a refresh offensive line. So anyway, season passes, and I know his keeper, he knows my keeper. I decide at one point, maybe a month ago, I'm willing to give him Jamar Gibbs so I can get JD. This gentleman to y'all's left, my right, decides, no, because you want him. You want him so much. No, no. And then I'm resigned to that. I'm still trying to get him. I'm willing to trade Jamar Gibbs, a pick, and all that just to get JD. No, I think I'm going to go talk to Jerry. This mug decides to go talk. I said his name. I was not going to say his name. That's like saying Candyman in the mirror. Candyman, and then he pops up. Ugh. Anyway, so he concocts this whole terrible, terrible thing to get to me. And, you know, Q was somebody I thought, you know, loved me as a brother. I guess I was wrong. That old fossil, that old decrepit fossil, it's okay. It's okay.
Well, I used to think Black Lives Matter, and then now I don't. So that's why I stopped doing it.
Hold up. You say Black Lives don't matter? What the hell?
Yeah.
What does what? Okay,
What?
you
What?
know, talk about Black Lives don't matter. You probably catch it on that one.
You're talking about calling ice on me. All right, then. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's all jokes. It's all jokes.
It's all jokes.
Okay? Except for the trade.
Hold on, somebody's knocking on my door.
Hey, everybody jump out and come get you. I hope they come get you. And then I can easily take JD from you.
Anyway, I knew you were gonna take it to heart. That's why I told Jerry to go along with it. And then he decided to go along with it. And man, the last week, you've been like having a heart attack.
Hey,
like,
bro.
The whole dark side of you came out. Like, you're attacking people's integrity and everything.
Oh, mine was attacked first. Now let me tell y'all what happened. How this whole attack came about. I was cool. I wasn't saying nothing about that little inside information I got. I ain't gonna say from who I got it from. But I had made a deal with another member in the league. And what Q was referring to about making up rules as they go is the fact that he wasn't in the league when this rule was initiated, that it was new to him, but it wasn't new to the league. In this rule, you are allowed to trade future picks as long as there's a payment made for the following season by both parties. I'm the commissioner. I'm always paid up, right? The other party made an arrangement with me for this trade. And in our league, all trades have to be announced. And then the other party has to come on and say, I agree to that trade, or yes, this is the trade. Well, I announced the trade. And oh my gosh, you're cheating. You can't do it. And I explained to them all, we had this happen several years ago. I wasn't even a part of it. Matter of fact, I didn't even bring up the future trade thing that I showed to that guy over there who didn't believe that it wasn't me who came up with it. But of course, again, the hate is there. The hate is there. So I show him this, and then he stops saying, it was you, it was you. And I'm like, I told your ass it was not me, but you don't believe me. And I told you that that old geriatric person is not trustworthy, but you're going to learn anyway. Long story short, 3 people in the league attack me, just full out attack. And I tell them, I'm not the one that made the deal. The deal isn't even final yet. Not even final yet. So then they, oh, he's cheating. He's I'm like, no, I'm not. This is a rule that we've had in place before. The person who made the offer was a counter to what I sent them. I sent out 4 different trade offers for an additional first round pick. Very similar to all of them. This individual happened to counter with something different. And I thought about it. I had 24 hours to think about it. I accepted it, and then I announced it. I kept telling these people in the league, hey, man, look at, why don't you ask him? Why don't you attack him? Of course they're not, because they want to come after the commish, because they think the commish is shady, even though I'm not the one concocting plans to get somebody upset, to get their blood pressure up. I'm not conspiring or making collusion. So for the entire week, I'm attacked. So, I'm like, you know what? Let me put my Randy Orton hat on. Let me put my diabolical behavior hat on. And I go after him. I am evil. I'm quasi-evil. Quasi. Because I could do a whole lot worse. But I have respect for the people in my league, except for one person. And I love them all because we've been playing fantasy. Q hadn't been playing as long as me and the 2 other people that are involved have been together. Like I've been doing fantasy for about 25 years. 25 years. No, longer than that, because I'm 49. I've been doing fantasy ever since 1993.
And you would think you would be good at it by this point, but damn.
You know what? Like I said, look at my stats. Look at my championships. But it's okay. It's okay. I understand. Haters gonna hate.
I can't look at your stats because all I know in all the years that I've been playing with you, you've never won nothing. Hey, you called me daddy twice already.
Never that. Hey, no Diddy and no doubt. Ain't
you called me daddy twice because I've won twice already. I won one time in this league. I won one time in this league, and then the other league that we played in, and you were like, "Wow, this guy's so great! I'm gonna have to move him over to my league."
Please, let me explain that. We were in a CBS league together. We were in a CBS league with a mutual friend. I had just won that league the year before. Our mutual friend invites him into the league. He wins. The league manager shuts the league down. I then invite him over because our mutual friend says, hey, he might want to join your league. I said, cool, not a problem. From there, Q comes over and he's part of the league. And fast forward, a very good person that I, gravitate to. I don't know. I might have to reshape that, because the only people calling you daddy are those babies on the pictures on your wall behind you. Those are the only people calling you daddy. Your wife don't even do it. You ain't got the chutzpah. Anyway, tell them I say hi. Tell them say hi. But my point is, collusion and conspiracy was going on because as a result of the announcement of the trade I made, they hadn't even gotten seconded yet. But I was taking a verbal abuse just because I announced it. Verbal abuse. These individuals conspired to do this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask the question. Is this collusion? When you decide you're going to draft a player for someone else and then trade them later in week 1 of the draft. Now, only way you can do that is if that person has the ability to draft the player you want. And that's no guarantee unless it's in the first round and that person is ahead of you. What did these folks happen? What the 3 individuals do? One of which, who will remain nameless because I respect them a little bit, he trades with this old fossil to get in front of Q, which puts both of them in front of me to get the player that Q knows I want. Because I told Q who I wanted. Right? Okay. So Q has this information. Right?
Which I have never shared with anybody else.
And neither did I.
Not even with Jerry. I never said this player specifically.
Okay. But you had the information. And then you help facilitate a trade between those 2 individuals.
How did I help facilitate? I had nothing to do with that.
Because you found out what that other person was going to draft at that new position. So therefore, you had to talk to that person about that move down in order to say, oh, he's going to try to draft this person. So you think I'm stupid by not putting 1 and 1 together to equal 2, but it's okay. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the collusion and the conspiracy was real. It was so real. And then shortly before the show,
you be doing so much shady shit in fantasy football that you think everybody else is out there doing the same thing, bro.
I've done nothing shady. All my stuff has been above board. Above board. I've announced all my moves. I've done everything. In fact,
I already know you did something shady to get that pick from Van. Okay?
No, I did not. Van has my first and second pick.
You took advantage of Van.
How did I take advantage of Van? He has back-to-back picks pretty much. How did I take it? Now, had I known, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you what I gave up to move up to the 4th overall pick, right? Because that's where Van was. I gave up my first, which was the 10th the 10th pick. And I gave up my second round, which was the 15th overall pick, right? Just plus I gave up my 11th to move up to number 4, right? He gave up his first overall, which was number 4, a 5th and a 6th, or 5th and a 7th. I'm sorry, a 5th and a 7th. The individual that traded with the old fossil, I even offered him a similar trade, my first and second, to move up. The trade that they made, he gets the old fossil's first, second, and third, and the fossil picks in the middle of the round. So no matter where it is, it's always in the middle, right? 4, his second overall, and a 5th and a 6th. I'm like, hold up. You take middle round picks versus back-to-back picks and a 7 when I could have given you, and my 7th, actually I offered him my first, second, and 5th. Of my first, second, and 5th. But you give up your first, which is second overall, for the 6th overall, and 2 later picks? That don't make no sense to me. But again, each GM does their own thing. I'm not going to knock him for doing that. But I'm like, the better deal is you get 3 back-to-back picks. Got you. 3 picks in 3 straight rounds. Got it. But they're all middle round picks. None of them give you an advantage other than the fact that you're going to pick 6 places earlier than your original pick versus picks that are 4 picks apart, 2 picks that are 4 picks apart plus a 5th. And then you get a 3rd round pick, which again, 6 picks between your pick, your original pick. That might, hey, you know what? That's what he chose to do. I'm not begrudging him for it, but I'm like, I offered you a better deal. You chose the lesser of the two. You don't want to deal with me? That's fine. That's fine. You didn't want to drop all the way to 10? That's fine. Tell me that, right? But if you're going to drop from 2 to 6 and then remain at 6 or 7 in the next rounds,
Beat his head.
math-
Oh.
huh?
Oh, no, go ahead.
To me, just to me, that does not make a lot of business sense, good business sense. It makes you have, or it lets you have 3 picks in the first, 6 picks in the first 3 rounds, which I get. 6 picks in the first 3 rounds. I would probably do that too. But at the same time, it's not a better offer in the sense of where you're picking. But I digress. With that being said, Q,
I
thank
need you to
you.
apologize to Jerry, bro, in public.
No,
Yes,
what am I apologizing to him for?
because you
What am I apologizing to
attacked
that
us
for?
like you attacked us so bad because you were like too upset at everything that was nothing going on that you like went all out on him. So I
Oh, I
need you
didn't
to
go all out.
apologize to
I didn't.
my
I didn't
friend
go all
Jerry
out.
Taylor.
I didn't go all out. Trust me. I could have gone. I could have gone a lot deeper, and I should have.
I
I
need you
should
to
have.
apologize to my friend Jerry Taylor.
I will not apologize to your friend Jerry Taylor. What I will say is, like you said, it's fantasy. Why are we taking it personal? That's
Exactly.
exactly. But
Eh,
as I told you, this is not about fantasy. The issue I have with him
But there was no
has
okay,
nothing to
but
do with fantasy. But
you keep talking about collusion. And there is no collusion because you know what? There was never no
so
deal in place.
here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say.
There was never no deal in place or
Okay,
nothing.
okay, that's fine that I know of because y'all probably backed off of it because I kept calling it out. But
Yeah, you're
here's,
crazy.
here's what
Like
I will say.
you're like
Here's what I
Donald
will
Trump.
say.
You think you got all this power over people's minds, and you don't.
Here- here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say about it. The guy on the screen, Q, concocted, and he admitted it here. He admitted it here, and he admitted in the chat group that he and that person devised a prank on me, and it worked. I don't know if it's a prank though. We'll see what happens after the draft. But why should I apologize for reacting to the prank that you guys made? No, what I will say is it was a very good prank because it reeked of conspiracy and it reeked of collusion, and I called it out as I saw it. So for that, I ain't apologizing, especially not to no old geezer that don't got the common courtesy to come on air and apologize to me for his behavior, even though I would not accept his apology because last time he apologized to me, he quickly went back to the behavior that got me upset with him the first time. So, like I said, it's not about fantasy. It's about the way he is. I'm dead serious when I say this. I trusted Jerry for so many years to help me out and to be a part of the show and stuff like that. And he decides to behave the way he did in the past. I accepted the apology. I said, okay, cool, we good. We go back and forth, right? And it's supposed to be just that, banter. But then he takes it another level after that. He reverts back to the way it was prior after saying, okay, you know what, I was wrong, so on and so on. It's like, cool, I appreciate that. I can do that. But then you go back to that same behavior. And then when I return the favor, it's all cursing and all stuff, and then he leaves the show. So he's not welcome to be a part of my shows in any shape or form, because I can't trust him. I can't. He wants to behave in a manner that's, I'm gonna talk crap about you. I'm gonna say this stuff about you. But as soon as you do the exact same thing to me, oh, oh, all right, bye. Didn't you just do this to me the other day? That's the problem I have. Just to
You
let
know
you
what you
know,
sound like? You know what you sound like?
I don't care what I sound like. I'm telling you the truth.
You just gave me flashbacks when I was like 5 years old, and I used to argue with my sister all the time.
Hey, talk to your boy, because your boy is the one who keeps questioning my integrity. Not once did I question his integrity. Not once until recently. Not once. All last year, this year, he is the one that kept cheating last year. I kept giving him the benefit of the doubt, benefit of the doubt. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, I forgot. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Literally, I should have zeroed him out like 3 or 4 times last year, but I didn't. He and Van are the reason why I'm taking no BS from y'all this year. Y'all, they're the reasons why, literally, I'm not asking y'all for anything. And in regards to the vote for the ring, I put a poll up in the group about getting the commission a ring, because the commission does a lot of work. Me,
You know
only person that
everybody
said thank you.
in every league everybody hates the commissioner, bro.
No, not everybody, but I get it.
Tell me what league is
I've
the
been in plenty of
commissioner like?
leagues. I've been in plenty of leagues where the commissioner was appreciated, whether you liked them or you didn't like them. And
Well, yeah, in those
only
leagues where the commissioner doesn't go above and beyond to benefit himself.
I have never done anything above and beyond to benefit myself. In fact, in fact, in fact, I've gone above and beyond to benefit y'all. Prime example, what I just said about Jerry and about Van, how they literally kept breaking the rules. And I'll give you a little secret. 3 people hit me on the side and said, hey, you might want to check XYZ. Because I was trusting everybody to do their jobs and be honest. Anytime I had to go check somebody's roster, it's because people hit me up and say, hey, go, you might want to go look at this because they did this, that, and the third. And then I go look. And what did I do? I put a warning out. And I say, have it done by XYZ. Right? I gotta wait for them to do it. Then when I do it, they want to complain and say, why'd you do that? Why'd you break the rule? Oh, it's my bad. I forgot. But you forgot the year before. You forgot 3 or 4 times this year. You're cheating. You're not trustworthy. So don't tell me about me going above and beyond to make things better for myself. I didn't. I have never done it. Never. What I have done is I've given leniency, and all that is gone. That is gone, bro. I'm serious. I'm tired of people being in the league, and like I said, I love everybody in the league. I do. But when you're cheating and other people see it and they bring it to my attention as the commissioner, I got 2 choices. I can drop the hammer and just zero you guys out like I said I would, or I can give you an opportunity to correct your issue. I decided to give you an opportunity to correct your issue, but it kept getting taken advantage of. So no, anybody in their right mind would have let it stop it after the first one. I, being a benevolent commissioner and trying to be a good friend, said, okay, look, man, stop. Don't do that. He wouldn't have made the playoffs. He wouldn't have won the championship had I actually levied the daggone rule. He would have had 4 losses additional to what he already had. So if you're telling me I shape things for myself, dude, you actually have missed the boat, because you saw it. Everybody in the league saw it. But yet I did. Did I do that for myself? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Wow.
So like I said, I'm done being Mr. Nice Guy. I'm not apologizing for calling out what was perceived to be conspiracy and collusion. A joke's a joke. Cool. I got it. I got it. Cool. However, there's no need for me to apologize for my reaction to that joke. I will admit, now that I know it's a joke, it was a damn good joke. It was a damn good joke because, yes, I was coming for heads. I was coming to, oh, you're Luigi now? You're going to be Luigi? I hope your dog pees on it. But anyway, anyway, you're a loser, not me. I know that's what you did it for. Anyway, thank you for being a man and coming on the show, unlike some other people. You know, at least
Why you
you
attacking
can come
the
on the show.
why you attacking the manhood, bro?
What manhood? I'm not attacking. He like Dion.
For
He ain't
being
got
a
to
man.
no more.
This is fantasy football, bro.
I know. Look, do I not list the link in the chat room for everybody that wants to come on the show? Do I do that?
Sure.
Exactly. So I can't force nobody to come on this show that don't want to come on this show. Don't put it all on me, Q. Look at you all on this man's nutsack. Sorry,
Hey,
I'm not gonna
nah.
abuse it. But he has
I
every he
just,
can come
I
on the
just,
show.
you gotta
He can
take
come on
care
the
of the
show.
old people, bro.
I put his ass in an old retirement home where he belongs.
Oh, wow.
I put him where he belongs because again, it's all about the respect factor. I have ultimate respect for my elders. I respect for everybody in that league, even your cousin, right? But I cannot tolerate the disrespect, the breaking of the rules, and then behaving the way he behaves. And once he gets it back, thrown back at him, there's a issue of, man, he's an old dude. You shouldn't. No. That's just like, and I'm gonna put it for real. This is a real legit thing. And even though if somebody were to do this to one of my daughters or my wife, I go after them. But I'm like, if a woman decides to hit a man, right? The man has restraint. He doesn't hit her back, but she continues to hit on that man. Do you not think that man's going to find a way to restrain her or put her in her place? He's going to. He's going to. Because if not, that man's going to be abused all the time. So if the old man wants to hit on me, I'm going to have to restrain your ass.
Not a big stretch right there, bro. That's kind of crazy, bro. You're being too
I'm
much
just saying.
passive aggressive right now. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not passive aggressive. I'm being ultimately aggressive. I'm not passive about nothing.
That was a big stretch, bro.
No, it ain't a stretch.
That was a big stretch.
It ain't a stretch. Listen, if the man wants to come on the show, he can come on the show. I'm not gonna stop him coming on. But what I will do is treat him the same way he treats me. He just because he didn't like what I had to say, he kept muting me. I mean, I would say he would give his part. I would say, well, you know what? That's okay, but this is the way I feel about it. In the middle of me talking, mute and say what he has to say, unmute. I'm like, okay, look, dude, don't do that again. I'm finishing my point. Mute. Really? Did we have this issue before? I'm done with it. So if you don't want to have a debate, or if you want to just have a yes person on your show as a co-host, fine. Get somebody who's going to do that. But if you want somebody to have a different opinion and maybe challenge your opinion, which makes for good conversation, okay. But if you want just a bunch of yes people, go ahead on your own. Do your own thing, because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to have you on my show acting like everything you say is king and what I say is doo-doo. No. No, no. I'm coming after you. I'm going to cut your head off. I really am. I'm going to cut your head off because I don't mind the confrontation. I know how to separate the confrontation from the friendship. I do. I know how to talk about my subject matter and not cause a friendship friction. I guess he doesn't know how to do that. For years, bro, when I was doing this on Blog Talk Radio, I created a show just for him and the other people that came on the show called FSP Crew Show. Now, on the Saturday show, I'm the lead, right? And they will all gang up on me. I'm like, look, you little muff, you people, right? Whatever. We would have it would be good stuff. But then I was like, you know what? Y'all need an echo chamber. Here's FSP Crew Show. Jerry's in charge of it. And it was okay. But you know what happened? When our one of our producers, which is because I named him producer because he actually was a provider to the show. Black, he would get us guests. Like he got us Stephen A. Smith. He got us a lot of baseball players. He got us Mayweather's people. He got us all these people, right? Instead of having Jerry lead the interview, I'm in Germany. So it's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, right? He's like, hey, Vic, I need you to do the interview. I'm like, I mean, it's y'all's show. But all right, I'll do it. Not a problem. What's wrong with Jerry? He's just not that good at it. Okay. And those verbatim, that's the stuff that Black would tell me. When we did Stephen A. Smith, yeah. So what I'm saying is I have no problem taking the heat. I don't. But it's a respect factor that you gotta have. You can't just dish it. And then when somebody throws it back at you and throws it back harder, you pitch a fit and run away. Then don't throw it if you can't take it. That's my whole point. That's my whole point. And you watching a Hall of Fame induction ceremony, or you watching baseball?
I'm watching the Dodgers, bro.
Of course, I knew it. You had to. But at any rate, we done spent 42 minutes talking about that, which is cool. I'm glad
Hey,
we
bro,
did it now.
I'm gonna send you my bill since that was your therapy for 42 minutes and 50
Bro,
seconds. I'm gonna
bro,
send you the bill. You
I
can sell
have
me, okay?
I don't have any
You, need,
therapy
you needed
needed for that.
you needed to vent today, and I
No,
understand.
I
Every once
didn't.
in a while, we all need that. But
I'm
my
supposed to be
services are
talking.
not free, so I'm gonna send you the bill.
Hey, bro, I told you come to this Raiders game. That could be a payment. You
I
said I ain't going to no preseason Raiders game.
ain't going to no preseason game, bro.
Okay, what
You
about
know
the
the only
Dodgers
thing,
game?
you
What
know
about
the
the
only
Dodgers
thing,
game I got you tickets for?
the only thing I value, like I mean, other than my family and stuff like that, like personally, that stuff that I value for me is my
Yeah.
time, homie.
Oh yes, me too. Me
Exactly.
too.
So I don't want to go sit over there with a bunch of people that I might hate over a stupid preseason game with like no players
Oh,
playing, like all like 150 people on the team, and like 80 of them aren't even gonna be on the team.
all right. Okay. All right. Well,
But I
at
will
any
go.
rate,
But I told you we could talk about that LA Rams, that game. That's my second team.
matter of fact, I'm glad you said that. That segues into what I wanted to. Something I was going to lead with today was my Super Bowl prediction or my NFC Championship game or playoff. I literally had these 5 teams going into the playoffs from the NFC,
I just want,
and
but before you start, I just want to tell you if you're gonna talk DIPs and stuff, let me know because
I am.
I'm gonna bounce because I'm the Brown Shane McVay. I only do offense, homie.
Well, I'll see you Sunday then. But I'm going to do defensive lineman IDPs right after this, and then Sunday I'm doing offensive linemen. Even though you don't get IDPs for offensive line, I'm gonna do quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and kickers. So that's the offense on Sundays. On Saturdays, I'm doing all defensive players. So just to let you know. But these are 5 of the 7 teams I got going to the playoffs from the NFC. I've got Philly, Washington, Detroit, Atlanta, and the Rams. The other two, it could be, I don't know if Green Bay is iffy. Green Bay is iffy. Um, uh, Dallas, if they get their stuff together, maybe,
Oh,
right?
hell no. I'm
And
already telling you,
Tampa,
Dallas is, they're going to be lucky if they win 5 games.
possibly, and Tampa,
They
right?
got,
So
they got
those are
like,
the 7.
they got me and you coaching them.
I'm a
Their
good
head
coach,
coach,
so I don't know what you're talking about.
hey, they're coaching like if me and you were coaching them. It's
Well,
just a retread that nobody ever wanted to hire.
who, Dallas?
Yeah,
Schottenheimer, this is Schottenheimer's first chance at being a head coach.
I know,
He hasn't
because
been a
he's
head coach.
been coaching for 20 years and nobody thought he was good enough.
I ain't going to debate that. I ain't going to
That's
debate
a
that.
nepotism baby right there.
I think that was you're a placeholder till I can get who I want to get.
Exactly.
So,
Because, anyways,
but out of my 7 teams that I mentioned from the NFC, uh, I literally have Philly facing the Rams in the NFC Championship game. Again, the only team that came close to beating Philly last year in the playoffs were the Rams in Philadelphia in the snow. I don't think Philly or the Rams would be the number 1 seed. I really think Philly or the Rams are going to be the number 1 seed. With Atlanta coming in 3rd, right? So out of all that, I think it's going to boil down to Philly and the Rams, and the Rams win it and go to the Super Bowl because it's going to be at SoFi and not in Philadelphia, the championship game.
you just stole
Okay?
my thunder, bro. I was about to give you my Super Bowl prediction right now.
You can give it. I only gave you the NFC side. I didn't give you the AFC side. But go ahead.
I'm giving my official Super Bowl prediction. I think it's gonna be the Rams against Buffalo.
I don't know if Buffalo got the defense ready for it. I think Buffalo is going to probably be a close one, but I honestly, even with old man Rodgers, Pittsburgh's defense is going to carry them. It's going to carry them heavily. So I got Pittsburgh or I actually got Denver winning the West. I got Denver winning the West because I really love what Denver has done. I really love what Denver has done. But that's what I got on those fronts. But will Denver make it to the Super Bowl? I don't know.
No.
Will the Steelers make the Super Bowl? I don't know. But Buffalo will definitely be in the mix.
I like Denver's team. I just don't like that coach. I think
I
he's
don't
way
like Peyton Hunter.
I think he's way too overrated. I mean, he's a great offensive coach. I don't know about a head coach. Period.
Sean
Because I
Payton.
mean, he's had so many he had so many chances and he never did anything. All right.
He won with Drew
The one
Brees.
time that's what I'm saying. He had Drew Brees for so many years. And they only made it to the Super Bowl once. And then they played against Rex Grossman. Come on.
Bruh,
I mean, I think he's a great offensive mind, but overall as a head coach, I just think, yeah, that's my
Sean,
opinion.
no, that's fine. Sean Payton, I think he's a chip off of the Bill Parcells tree, his coaching style.
Yeah.
So he's very raw, very matter of fact, and gives 2 F's about how you feel.
I know, but
And
I just don't understand why people say he's so great. I mean, he had Drew Brees for so many years, and he only went to the Super Bowl once. Okay, he only played in the NFC Championship game, I believe, twice. that whole time. And the one time they won it.
I'll put it this way: after that Super Bowl run, that's when New Orleans started kicking the can down the road for money, saying, "Okay, well, we're gonna sign this we're gonna re-sign this player and give him all this money instead of retooling." They didn't retool. They just brought in older players and paid more money to the current players, which is admirable, but you didn't bring in fresh faces to help rebuild or reconstitute that team. And it showed in the last couple of years that he coached in New Orleans because he was trying to make magic with a lot of older players. But regardless of that, yeah, you're welcome to come on tomorrow if you want to go over the IDPs for who I'm gonna start with tight ends. For tight ends, that's what I'm gonna do. It's not gonna be your usual suspects, I'll tell you that. At the top, it's not gonna be the usual suspects at the top. But yeah, I'm about to get ready to get into the defensive linemen / edge rushers that can get you points in fantasy.
All right, now that you know that I'm not trading Jane Daniels, I want you to know that I'm looking to move up in the second round.
Well, I don't have a second round pick, so there's nothing I can do.
Oh, you suck.
Remember, dude, I sat here and told you that Van has my first and second. I don't have a second round pick.
That's crazy.
It is what it is. I mean, I offered you a deal that would have given you.
You have 2 first round picks?
Yeah. Plus third, and I think my fourth. So, no, I don't. Tony has my fourth. So I don't pick again to the 5th round.
That's crazy. Okay. Well,
yeah, I mean, I'll be behind everybody, but I'll have, if
you're
y'all
always
didn't,
going to be behind me because you haven't beat me yet.
Slim, I beat you last year.
I'm talking about when it counts. I don't take Cousins. I would take Cousins seriously during the season.
Well, you better this year. Anyway, we'll see, loser. But thank you for coming on. I love you. I appreciate you. Excuse me. And again, anybody's welcome to come on. Anybody. But all they got to do is just show up. All they got to do is show up.
In the words of my dear old friend, Rodney King.
I can't wait. I'll just get along. Rodney has died, right? Rodney's dead. So you say your dear departed friend. So either way. Hey, bro, we can get along. I ain't got no problem with that. I mean, I didn't start the name calling. I didn't start the accusatory stuff. I just finished it. Because go back in the thread. You're gonna see y'all started calling me all types of names and saying I did this, that, and the third, calling me a snake. I didn't call y'all not one name. Not one. But then when I come out with the venom, with the venom, oh, now it's like, oh, you hurt his feelings. F them feelings. Just like I say, F them picks. F them picks, F them feelings. You know what I'm saying? So let me get to it. I appreciate you, Q. But you're welcome to say if you want. I'm not going to kick you off.
I'm going to go off camera, though.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll hop back in when I have something to say.
Well, raise your hand so I at least see it.
Okay.
All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me remove him. What music do I want to play today? You know what? Defensive linemen like to feed the ducks. Let's feed some ducks, shall we? Let's get it popping. So, at the beginning of the show, I told you guys that a defensive lineman can literally be valuable to you in fantasy football. That might be a little too loud. Let me bring that down just a bit. Just a bit. Just a bit. Just a bit. Yeah. 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 So, do you value a defensive lineman / edge rusher in fantasy football? The answer is it depends. It depends on your scoring system. In some leagues, you have to have a defensive lineman listed. I think I'm in one league like that. In other leagues, it's a defensive player or an actual linebacker. Some of the people on my list, for the most part, are edge rushers, linebackers, that just their main focus is to cause havoc in the backfield, but they do drop back from time to time. And I'm gonna start from 15, work my way up to 1. So let's get it cracking. At number 15, this is a guy I have a lot of love for. Last season he didn't finish too well because he was hurt a lot, but he's a monster. That's why when his former team, the Tennessee Titans, let him go, his new team, the New England Patriots, who is coached by Mike Vrabel, snagged him up. He was part of the team that actually drafted him. Harold Landry, last year, he had 164.3 fantasy points. That's a lot more than some tight ends. Understand that. Some people say, I don't want to do IDPs. Why do you got to do? Look, some of these players can make as many points as your kicker, as your tight end. Nobody's saying don't play a tight end. Some people say don't play a kicker, but you know, I like kickers. They're people too. He had 17 games in. I thought he was hurt a little bit, but I guess not. But here's the kicker: 42 tackles, 29 assists, 9 sacks, which is an off year, and 4 pass defense. 9 sacks is good for anybody. But he had 49 solo tackles, 29 assisted tackles. All these are points. Those 9 sacks, huge. Pass defense, depending on how your team or your league views them, it could be something huge or not. At number 14, I like this kid. The reason why I don't know what I'm going to do with them is because it's a new defense. He's been a terror. He has been a terror. Last year, he finished defensive or outside linebacker or DN, however you want to do it. DN number 17. He played 16 games, 121.3 fantasy points. You see the difference? 160 something versus 120 something. That's still a lot of points. A lot of points. But again, this kid is in a new system and we don't know how it's going to really work out. So I dropped him down a peg. It's about Josh Hines Allen, Jacksonville Jaguars, right? Again, last year, 16 games, 26 tackles, 19 assists, 8 sacks, 2 pass defense, 1 fumble recovery. He's around the ball, but you're not expecting him to get a lot of points. I honestly should flip-flop and put Landry at 14 and Allen at 15, because in that New England system, I think Landry's going to, and in that division, I think Landry's going to murder them. Murder. Murder was the case that they gave me. But I like Josh Hines Allen because of what he brings to the table. Now he's got that young guy on the opposite side of him who doesn't even make. Well, I shouldn't say he doesn't make. I decided to keep him out, even though he was the first overall pick during his draft. I decided to keep him out of my top 15 because it took him 2 years to get used to one system, right? And I get it. He was a rookie. This is what, year 3, year 4? New system. I think he's going to take time to learn it. And they might even drop him back more. So I left his running mate off of this list. So don't expect to see. And I get it. Don't expect to see Mr. Walker. Don't expect to see Trayvon Walker on here. All right. But number 13. I got to tell you guys, I absolutely love Minnesota's defense. I mean, they had changes. Mid-season, they picked that defense like that. And they became a monster. And this kid in Miami played like middle linebacker. He goes to Minnesota and now becomes an outside linebacker, an edge rusher. Last year, he finished linebacker 9. Number 9. Again, change positions. But listen to the stat line. 222.8 fantasy points from a defensive lineman / linebacker. 222.8. Whatever. 17 games, finished linebacker 9, 50 solo tackles, 29 assisted tackles. Here's the kicker. 11.5 sacks. 11.5. 6 pass defense, 2 interceptions. And he's playing the middle or inside linebacker. Now they put him on the outside where he's going to solely be rushing. Solely rush. Which is nuts. He's going to have more than 11.5 sacks. I think it's probably going to be like 16 sacks. On that defense? Oh my goodness. Andrew Van Ginkel. Andrew Van Ginkel. Number 13. Don't get it twisted, y'all. His running mate, who I really, really, really like. Last season, he finished linebacker 3. 3. Can't make this stuff up, y'all. Linebacker 3. And again, defensive end / linebacker. Defensive lineman. Think about what I'm telling you. So he's a blitzer and he drops back. 188.5 fantasy points, 17 games played, 41 tackles, 18 assists, 12 sacks. So again, Van Ginkel and Jonathan Grenard together had 23 and a half sacks by themselves for Minnesota's defense. Now, he actually played outside. He was not middle. That's nuts. That is nuts. 2 players, 23 and a half sacks together. That's not everybody else on the team. He also had 3 pass defense. He's my number 12. Bernard. Make sure Q ain't asked no questions. No ask any questions. Let me go back. After Bernard, I really think this defense is probably going to be the best defense in the NFL. I really rank Bernard. Not Bernard. I rank Pittsburgh, Minnesota, and the Patriots. Yes, I said the Patriots. Top 3 defenses in football this year. Philly's in there. But Philly plays a lot of tough games this year. Those 3, outside the NFC North games, they should be kosher for Pittsburgh. But this guy, it's not who you think it is. If you think I'm put TJ Watt down here this low, you're kind of slow. Let's be honest with you. Last year, this guy finished linebacker 70. Did not finish the year. Right? He had 108.3 points fantasy, 11 games played, 28 tackles, 17 assisted. But again, he played, 11 games? 6 sacks. Almost won every other game. And 2 pass defense. Alex Highsmith. Number 11. It's just out that window. But on that rebuilt Pittsburgh defense, it's going to be nuts. Now, I didn't like what I saw DJ Metcalf do to Porter Jr. He just ran right by him, literally. So he might need a little safety help. But DK Metcalf is a monster. So DK Metcalf going right by Porter Jr. is expected, but big boy on big boy. But DK probably just would throw him if he ever tried to lock him up. DK's a monster. But Alex Highsmith, number 11. Time to get to the top 10. Woo! Now, I'm going to switch this up a little bit. A player that had the most sacks the past 2 years is not in my top 15 because I think he's willing to sit out this entire season if Cincinnati doesn't trade him or pay him. I know he's at camp, not doing anything, doing a sit-in, so to speak. I do not trust Cincinnati's defense. So for that reason, I'm telling you right now, Trey Hendrickson is not in my top 15. I don't think he's going to play for them. And I don't think if he does, that defense is going to be effective. And it's going to be chip him here, chip him there. He's not going to be as effective. So I left Trey Hendrickson off. And number 10, I got this guy. Give you his stats. Last year, he finished defensive end number 2. Now, defensive end number 2, not linebacker 2, but defensive end number 2. And now, him, a few other players, Thibodeau, and the rest of those guys, they got there in New York. That defense is going to be the best thing about the Giants. Really. The best thing about the Giants is going to be that defense. I love Cam Scatterboo. Even though he's a rookie, he hasn't done nothing, but I love his attitude. I love the way he plays. Malik Neighbors, love him too. Love Russ. I do not like that offensive line and the compliments around all the stuff I just made. But this kid gets after the quarterback. Again, last year he played 7 games at 181.3 fantasy points, 42 tackles, 29 assisted tackles, 8.5 sacks, 8 pass defense. It's about Brian Burns. I love Burns in this defense. You know, when he left Carolina, this was one of the reasons why they wanted him, because of the impact he has. Unfortunately for him, the other side of the ball just wasn't that good. I do not think they're going to be that good either this year. Even though they have better tools, just not good enough. Brian Burns is going to be a factor in fantasy this year. That's why I'm at number 10. Defensive line, great kid. Another factor at number 9. It's an oldie but goodie. Oldie but goodie. Let me make sure nobody's asking to jump on. Nope. Okay. Oh, I got a private message. You crazy Patriots. Q, call me crazy if you want to. But I love the Patriots. You got something you want to say about the Patriots, Q? Let me bring Q on, y'all. I passed the Patriots, but let me bring them on.
You're crazy, bro. There's like 5 other defenses that are going to be way better than the Patriots.
So, just to help you out, you got Landry, Spallone. You know Spallone from your Raiders, right?
Yeah, Spillane.
Yeah, Spillane, whatever. He's with the Patriots. You put, Landry, and I believe they got, I forgot the defensive tackle they picked up. They already got Gonzalez at corner, lockdown corner. Dude is physical and can cover his butt off. They added the other corner, right? I honestly think the Patriots defense, especially in that division, they're going to be horrors to deal with. Horrors. Just horrors to deal with.
They're going to play Buffalo twice. They're going to play the Dolphins twice.
Okay, the Dolphins are going to be trash this year.
The Dolphins are going to score points on them both times.
They're going to score, but they're not going to score a lot. They're not scoring a lot. Listen,
They're going to get to 30 at least each game.
You're telling me that the Miami Dolphins are going to average 30 points a game this year?
No, just against the Patriots.
Q, you know what I'm about to say, right?
Go ahead, say it.
I smell a bet. I smell $100 bet that the Patriots will not allow an average of 30 points or more in the 2 games versus the Dolphins. Do you take that bet?
If they score 35 in one game and 29 in the other, the average is not going to be 30.
Actually, it would be over 30.
Well,
It'll be over 30.
We'll talk about it when it comes to that.
No, we got it right now. Let's do it right now.
We'll probably do 2 individual games.
No. Let's go. You said an average. They're going to average 30 points a game versus the Patriots. They play each other twice. I'm saying that's not going to happen. What's there to wait for?
I didn't say they're going to average. I said they're going to score 30 at least each game.
That's averaging 30. That's the same way I'm saying they're going to average 30 points.
I can't do the average math thing because, no.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's a MILF. Not MILF. Myth, I should say. Math is fundamental. Math is fundamental. Myth.
Not in my brain.
I see that. I see that. All right. You want to stay on while I talk about these other players?
Go ahead.
All right. Now, I finished with Brian Burns at number 10. I am now on my number 9 guy who just had a resurgence last year. And if he would have stayed in Minnesota and they did this with him in Minnesota, Minnesota would have even a more dominant team. But he went down to Houston and did what he could have did in Minnesota. Last year, he finished linebacker number or defensive end number 7, 156.8 fantasy points. Again, very comparable to a tight end. In 17 games, 31 tackles, 15 assists, 12 sacks, and 3 pass defense. Wild behavior. Danielle Hunter is my number 9 defensive end / outside linebacker. Houston. They have the players on the defensive side of the ball to make things happen. You have anything you want to say about that before I move on?
Oh, I like that guy.
Okay. Just jump in and say something, if you got something to say, okay? That way I can keep going. All right. Danielle Hunter is my number 9. Number 8. Last year he was a rookie. And to be honest, he shouldn't have won Defensive Rookie of the Year because his running mate on the same defensive line had better numbers. But there's nothing I can do about that. He won. Number 8 is Jared Verse, who last year finished defensive end number 13. Right? He had a total of 141 fantasy points. At DN, 141. More than some tight ends, y'all. In 17 games, he got 36 tackles, 30 assisted tackles. He's around the ball. 4.5 sacks, 2 pass defense, and 2 fumble recoveries in his rookie year. I want you guys to understand that. That's his rookie year. 141 points. I've already rattled off some numbers of veterans that he already outplayed. Year 2 in the system with a bunch of young lions, I expect him to get maybe 45, 50 tackles. I don't know if he can still do 30 assists because that's amazing. I expect him to get more than 4.5 sacks. But 2 pass defense and 2 fumble recoveries, yeah. Jared Verse is going to be a monster at number 8.
I think he's going to finish top 3 in Defensive Player of the Year.
A Defensive Player of the Year?
Yep.
I mean, that's possible. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to hold you. I think that's absolutely possible. That defense, and this is why I put the Rams in an NFC Championship game. Had they not played Philly in the first game, right? Or their second game, they for sure would have been in the NFC Championship game. I think they would have beat us, the Commanders. I think they would have beat Tampa. I think they would have beat who else was in the playoffs? I don't know if they would have beat Detroit, but that would have been nice. But still, I think you might be on to something. I think he is possibly in the hunt for Defensive Player of the Year. I really think you're on to something. But let's go to number 7. Okay. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I do not like the politics of this individual. Not at all. Jared Butler. Jared, we're talking about Jared Verse. Jared Verse is the person, let me write this, is the person we are saying should be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. Jared Verse, who, oh, he's a beast. Yeah. That's what we were saying. I'm going down my individual defensive players for fantasy right now, and I had Jared Verse at number 8 from the defensive line. Right? Phenomenal numbers as a rookie. So I can only see him getting way better. Q thinks he'll finish number 3 in the top 3 of defensive players, period. And he might not be wrong. But at number 7, at defensive line / outside linebacker, I don't like this guy, Nick Bosa's politics, but I like the player. Last year he had 151.8 fantasy points. Again, more than some tight ends last year. He only played 14 games. Got 33 tackles, 19 assisted, 9 sacks, 1 pass defense, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery. And last year he finished defensive end number 8 with 3 less games. So when I look at what he does on that age, here's the key though. He used to be in my top 3. I dropped him to number 7 because that aging defense of the 49ers. The 49ers are a team that they need to build up that defense. Fred Warner, love him. But Greenlaw's gone now. Who's going to be his running mate that can be the young gun? Bosa's there. Who's on the opposite side of Bosa? Their secondary can do whatever, but they lost a lot of their secondary. So how do you make up for that? Nick Bosa, as long as he stays healthy, is going to be a monster. I gave you his numbers, but that defense is going to be a problem. I think this is just me. I think San Fran's offense is going to be on the bench more than their defense. Parasol has got to make up for what Debo could do. Ayuk has got to be the lead dog. Jennings has to maintain what he's doing, being a good number 3. But can CMC stay healthy? George Kittle's going to be George Kittle. Purdy's got paid, but they've lost too many pieces on defensive secondary, and the offensive line is aging. And Debo was a big piece of that offense. So for that reason, I think San Fran's defense is going to be on the field a lot more than their offense is. Bosa, that means more opportunities for Bosa, but that doesn't mean they're going to stop. No. That's another thing, Jared. Brandon Ayuk is not healthy. He's on PUP right now. But again, it's August. He might be ready for the first 2 games of the season, or he might not. He might have to sit out the first 4. And that's even worse, because that means who's going to be your starting wide receiver? Jennings and Pearsall. Who's at number 3? That tells me they're going to run the hell out of the rock. CMC and the young kid San Fran drafted are going to be running their butts off. But that's just what I think. Let's go to my number 6. My number 6 defensive player. And Jared's going to like this. He's probably going to say he needs to be higher. But this kid, he came in and did his thing as as a rookie. And last year, he played 14 games. 143 total fantasy points. 143. He finished defensive end. Make sure I say defense. Yeah, defensive end number 10. Number 10. 27 tackles, 10 assisted tackles, 11 sacks, 2 pass defense, and 1 fumble recovery. Now remember, on the opposite side of him was Danielle Hunter, who had 12 sacks. These two combined for 23 sacks by themselves, just like Van Ginkel and Greenford, or Greener, whatever, Greener. They had 23 and a half. These guys had 23. I'm talking about Will Anderson Jr. He is my number 6 defensive end / outside linebacker when you're doing your fantasy. If you play IDPs, he's finding his way. The best thing they did for him was get him Danielle Hunter last year. That's the best thing Houston did. Danielle Hunter's the vet, still got something in it. If Minnesota just would have stood him up and kept him in that daggone defense, he could have did the same thing. But he did it for Houston. And this guy, Will Anderson Jr., benefited majorly. Majorly. Let me see what Jared had to say. Jared says, I think 6 is a good spot for him. Yeah, those two be competing for sacks. Will is due for an extension after this year, so he will have something more to play for. And the kid is going to turn it on. No joke. No joke. I think he's going to turn it on. Majorly. Majorly. The reason why? Houston. Look. I've already chronicled what I think Houston's going to be this year. They're going to win a division, but it's going to be a very lackluster division. I think 9-8 is what I had them at. Matter of fact, I got my book. I had Houston, wrong book, black book, black man, black book, black pen. And I think I had Houston. What I had Houston at? I had Houston 9-8. I had them 9-8, but winning division 9-8 because Tank Dell. When is he going to return? I don't think Nico can handle all that by himself because let's face it, I don't care who they added. Nick Chubb is a good add, but Joe Mixon's already hurt. I love the combination of Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb, but that tells me with that depleted offensive line, because they lost 3 of the 5, they're going to run the ball with Nick Chubb and Joe Mixon to protect CJ Stroud and wait for Michi to come into his own to be that second to Nico Collins. Just my thought. Just my thought. But Will Anderson is who I have right there. We have a tough schedule outside the division, and we still have O-line questions. That's what I was saying. Exactly what I was saying. Right? So, let's go to my top 5. Now, you can put these guys anywhere you want to put them. And this was made before the announcement yesterday. Number 5, if he stays healthy, is the guy from Dallas. And y'all know I hate the Cowboys with a passion. Passion. Last year he finished linebacker 52. But he had 142.3 fantasy points in 13 games. He missed 4 games. He had 30 total tackles, 13 assisted tackles, 12 sacks, and 1 pass defense. Now, this was when they kept moving him around. Middle linebacker, outside linebacker, doing all types of stuff. Now, Micah Parsons has requested a trade. And he gave a long bye-bye Dallas speech, citing the fact that he wants the team to negotiate with his agent and not with him directly. And that's smart on the Cowboys' part. Play on the heartstrings of the player. Jerry Jones talking to him directly. Got it. Have the player tell the agent, hey, let's do this, da 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 da. But no, the agent's getting paid a fee to do their job. I think Michael Parsons is going to stay in Dallas, and he needs to stay in Dallas if Dallas hopes to have a decent defense. He brings that pass rush that they need. I believe Dexter Lawrence is gone. Where are they going to get the other pass rush from? They already aren't that good of a defense. Decent secondary, but everywhere else, not that good. But Michael Parsons is my number 5 because of what he can do.
But you could put up those numbers in Vegas, bro.
We're talking about the trade. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right, Jared. Jared brought something up to me that I forgot. Christian Kirk was picked up by Houston. And I like Christian Kirk because Trevor Lawrence made him shine. But he made him shine as the number 1 receiver down there. Nico Collins is number 1 in Houston. Can Christian Kirk stay healthy after blowing out both his knees? I mean, I think he blew out one of his knees this year. He's had a knee issue before. And I like him. But I don't know if he's going to be that efficient. Tank Dell is the dude that y'all really need back. But having those 3 with Nick Chubb, with Joe Mixon, only problem is your offensive line. Anyway, Michael Parsons, my number 5. Number 4. It's debatable. It's debatable. But I'm going to put it right here. And the reason why I'm putting him right here is because I don't like their offense. That's the only reason why. Only reason why. Last year he finished defensive end number 1. And deservedly so. He had 193.8 fantasy points. He was putting quarterbacks in his graveyard left and right. Left and right. 17 games, 40 tackles, 7 assists, 14 sacks, 1 pass defense, 1 fumble recovery. Talking about Myles Garrett. Some people might have him number 1, number 2. But my problem is I don't think Cleveland's offense is going to move that much. Hence, they're going to be on the field a lot. He's going to have opportunities, but teams are going to be running on Cleveland to kill clock and set up the play action pass. I don't think Myles Garrett gets 14 sacks this year. I don't. That's just me. You know? But I think he's still going to be effective. Personally, I'm not going to get him as an IDP. I'm not going to get an actual defensive end as IDP unless I have to have a specific lineman. 40 tackles is good. 7 assists are good. Those 14 sacks is what makes him worth it. 1 pass defense, 1 fumble recovery. But I don't think he's hitting 14 this year. That's just me. You may have a different opinion, but that's what we play the game for. That's what we play the game for. All right. At number 3. Number 3. I absolutely love this guy. I don't like his defense. I don't like his offensive team, but I like his offensive team better than I like Cleveland's. That makes sense. Last year, he finished defensive end 14. He only played 12 games. 134.8 fantasy points. Imagine you played 5 more games. Just imagine. 28 tackles, 17 assists, 7.5 sacks, 5 pass defense. So he's getting his hands up in the air. I know Q's going to love him. Max Crosby is that guy. I'm be honest with you. He needs a running mate. He needs somebody on the opposite side to help him. The linebackers well, they got Pratt. I believe they got Pratt from Cincinnati to play linebacker to replace Spillane, which is good. But the linebackers were trash outside of Spillane. Now Pratt's there. Diablo is a terrible strong safety. Terrible. What they've done, from what I read, they moved Adams. Remember the safety Adams from Seattle and the Jets? They moved him from strong safety to outside linebacker to hunt the quarterback. I don't know if that's going to work. I've seen him make some business decisions as well. But if he's rushing the quarterback and Max is rushing the quarterback, I like that. I got Max Crosby. Number 3. Fantasy. The end. So you say, Vic, who you got at number 2 and number 1? I'm going to tell you right now. I don't care that this guy is coming off an injury. Absolutely don't. Last year he finished defensive end 53. But he's coming to his own. He's coming to his own. I want you to understand. The man played 5 games. 5 games. 74.8 fantasy points in 5 games. 12 solo tackles, 7 assisted, 7.5 sacks in 5 games. He is going to at least double his sack total. I'm sure he's going to have 30, 40 tackles. I don't know how many assisted. But I'm talking about Aiden Hutchinson. Just think about this. Think about this. In 5 games, he had 7.5 sacks. What happens if he plays those other 12? And he didn't have help. I'm telling you, be on the lookout for Aiden Hutchinson. Again, am I getting him in my IDP position? Only if a defensive lineman is a position that I need to fill. He's going to be a terror. You got something you want to say, Q? Okay. All right. But Aiden Hutchinson is my number 2. Number 1. It shouldn't be a mystery. I mean, who have I not talked about?
Oh, the good ones.
Huh?
Oh, the good ones.
All the good ones. You're crazy, boy. Here's my number 1. Let me read off the stats. Last year he finished linebacker 11. Last year he played 17 games, amassed 207.3 fantasy points.
Oh,
again,
I know.
Of course you know. There's only one good one out there. That's a linebacker.
I had him.
Well, You know, and you played him too. I saw him in your lineup a few times.
That's what I'm saying. I played a.
So 207.3 fantasy points. In our league, I think he had more than 207.3. I think he had like 215, 220, something like that. But 17 games, 40 tackles, 21 assisted tackles, 11 and a half sacks, 4 pass defense, 2 fumble recoveries. And that got him a payday. Got him a payday. TJ Watt, number 1 fantasy defensive lineman / linebacker. So if you're in a league that has an IDP position that's specific to DNs or edge rushers, he falls in that category. If you have to play a linebacker, he also falls in that category. But I'm not playing him. I mean, Q did last year. He played him in our defensive player position. And it worked out for him, obviously, or didn't. He won the division I was in. But that player can be the difference. 207.3 fantasy points. It makes a world of difference when you're trying to get a player or you're trying to get the points needed to win a game. That's just my feeling on the IDPs. So Q, before I go over my top 15, what are your thoughts and any surprises?
I would have had what's called a Jared verse in my top 5 instead of outside my top 5, and I probably would have put Myles Garrett outside my top 5 because I think they're just gonna run away from him, and every time they go that way, they're gonna chip off of him. If that's the only person they got. Plus, I think they're in big time tank mode this year, so they're not gonna let anybody perform where they could have a chance to win a game. I think.
Okay, I really believe that Cleveland. I don't think they're going to tank.
Oh,
but I think they're going to be a bad team, a very bad team, especially if they let Shedeur go. Because I say this not because I like Shedeur, only because if something happens, and I believe Baltimore is going to break Joe Flacco in week 2, week 3, whenever they play him. That means you got Kenny Pickett, who I don't have any faith in, Dylan Gabriel, and I believe they're going to deal Deshaun Watson. They're going to let Deshaun Watson go. And if they let Shedeur go, you're left with those two to back up Flacco. You might as well let Shedeur play. But that's just me. Anyway, from 15 to 1, here are my. Oh, Lord, I forgot to write down. Okay. I forgot to write down my number 14. But number 15, Harold Landry. I forgot who had 14. Number 13, Van Ginkel. Number 12, Grenard. 11, Highsmith. 10, Burns. 9, Hunter. 8, Burst. 7, Nick Bosa. 6, Anderson. 5, Parsons. 4, Garrett. 3, Crosby. 2, Hutchinson. And 1, TJ Watt. Those are my top 15 fantasy IDPs for defensive line. Hey, thank you, Jared, for chiming in. I appreciate you being a part of the show, and as well as Q. Third person from TSA to take part in the show. So I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate that. And you are a good dude. I ain't got nothing bad to say about you. Hopefully you win the lottery If not, I can get rid of somebody in my other league, maybe an old man named Jerry. See, look at your dog. She wants to be on camera so bad. She
That's
wants
the
to be
love
on
of my
camera.
life.
Are you saying your wife isn't? That's sad. That
Hey,
is sad, Q.
I love my dog.
Anyway, I feel you. I feel you. Tomorrow, I plan to break down the tight ends, top 15 tight ends in fantasy. I'll do that. I'll talk about the Hall of Fame a little bit. I'll talk about my guy Terry McLaurin demanding a trade, Michael Parsons demanding a trade, and there's one more person that said they want. Oh, Hendrickson from Cincinnati, who wants to be traded. He actually wants to be signed, but he's one of those top 3. With that being said, you have anything you want to add, Q?
Nope.
All right. I want to thank you guys out there in listening land and viewing land for coming on and supporting the show, because I love what I do. And I do what I do all day, every day.
Fantasy, sports, and politics.
Get ready to rumble!
You wanna talk smack? You in the right place. So take a step back before I get all up in your
Remember,
face.
because I don't remember. I remember every bit of this.
The other dude's holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
Oh!
Jerry's gonna get him.
Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics.
Listeners are asking questions about this week's games, not Jerry's personal beef. So what's your thought?